different kind of a game, wasn't it? I mean, it was a different kind of game. Wasn't really flow or rhythm to it, but the good thing is that we stayed with it. We really grinded out some great at bats late. Had, put the 6 spot up in the 6th inning and came away with a win. I love the way Maggie threw the ball early on. She got 65 pitches, which is what we wanted to get her to, and she threw very, very well. Libby got some work in, and we had some good pressure situations with bases loaded that we had to play out of. And then we finally settled in and got some hittable pitches in that last inning and put some good swings on for 6 runs.
So with Maggie, with that was a set thing, that you were just going to throw 65 pitches and that's it?
Yeah, we haven't been able to condition her at the beginning of the year the way that we do with our entire pitching staff. So, we're working into that 65 pitch number, maybe even 70, just in case we have to use her coming down the stretch here a little bit. And she's throwing the ball real well. So, she could probably go a little bit longer and probably throw a couple more. But for the most part, throw 65 today was a pretty good number.
And now, how does this dynamic with having Matt Hawkins starting and then Galati coming in relief really affect your team?
It really doesn't. It's good for Maggie to get some work in, and it's also good for Olivia to get some relief work in. Olivia needed to work a little bit today. She needed to throw a little bit, work on some mechanics, and she got that done. So on the whole, we accomplished pretty much everything that we wanted to do today.
Not even just that, Maggie offensively so big today, coming up with some big hits. What has she meant for you in this program, and how do you think she's been improving over the course of the season?
She's a freak, okay? and I call her that, so it's not like I'm saying anything out of context here. She is so talented that she does so many things well. She can play first base, she can catch for us, she can pitch for us. She just does so many things well. She had a little tough week last week, where if she doesn't get her 2 or 3 hits in the game, everybody goes, oh, she's in a slump, but she was still swinging the bat really well. She's so talented and has a great attitude. She competes, she gets after it. I mean, she had a situation there where we were, a little worried about, and she made that great pitch at the great time. I think it was in the 3rd inning, to get herself out of a jam. So she'll come at you, very, very special, talented player.
And now a lot of your batters, they have a very good understanding when they're in the batter's box. Most batters, they struggle with that outside pitch a little bit, not really. They kind of just try to pull it too far out, and that's how it pops up or it results in a ground out. But your batters don't really seem to have that problem most of the time. Hirschfield with a nice grounder right in between that first baseman and second baseman. So how did your players get this kind of exposure to these kind of pitches?
We're at that point of the season now where we have a pretty good idea as to what a ball and what a strike is, and we're staying within the zone. Anytime that you leave the zone one time, the pitch is going to expand it even more and get you to chase even farther out, or chase up, or chase lower than low, or tighter than tight. And what's happening now is that we have real good sense, real good feel for what the strike zone is, and then we obviously have to adjust to what the umpire is calling. So they're doing a great job of recognizing outside whether or not it's a ball or strike, and they're swinging at the strikes, okay, and they're taking the balls, which is a great thing for them to be doing that during this time of the year.
And now that you bring that up, your batters seem to have a really good understanding of just every kind of style of pitching. Archer, you guys understood that she wasn't necessarily going to be the most consistent, and you played on top of that. You were you were drawing out the counts. You were waiting on those pitches for that first pitch strike before swinging. And how do you guys recognize that stuff so easily? Is there something that goes on in the dugout, or do you guys just kind of understand that mentally?
We're constantly passing information from one hitter to another, where everyone in the dugout is looking at the pitcher, finding what is she throwing, what pitch is she throwing for a strike, what pitch is she struggling with, and then when they get into the batter's box in the on-deck circle, they have a pretty good understanding of what they're looking for. The great thing about today is, as crazy as this game was, we had a lot of walks, and that's key, that we weren't chasing pitches out of the zone. We hit a lot of borderline strikes, hard foul balls. We hit a lot of loud outs today. We hit the ball well, which meant that we weren't chasing pitches outside the strike zone. So it was a very, very good day for us, to keep us reined in, so to speak, to grind out your at-bats, when you have that opportunity, which is what we did today.
Coach, before we let you go, JMU series, of course, course, biggest of the year. You guys need to sweep it. You need to host a tournament. For you guys, how do you guys go into that game? The mindset of, you have to sweep and you're gonna be able to do it.
We're not even thinking about sweeping. We're thinking about the first pitch in the first game. We're thinking about grinding out the weekend, playing well. If we sweep, great, and if we don't, so be it. We just want to play well. And if we play well, then you have an opportunity maybe to sweep. We're just worried about playing our game. If we play our game, I think it'll be a phenomenal series. It's going to be really a great series, and the weather's going to be great. I mean, it's really going to be fun. These are meaningful series this time of year. There are a whole lot of teams around the country playing for nothing right